Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode number 14 of the Untap Podcast. I am one of your hosts, Jonny Esports. I'm joined by JT. How you doing, my dude?
I'm doing great. It's a beautiful day down here in the Jankyard.
Awesome. Yeah, it's a fun time, folks. New sets come out, Strixhaven. So we're, of course, going to talk about that. We'll go over our topics for the day. So basically, for our game to start up, our little warm-up game, I'm going to play a game I'm going to call Guess That Card. That sounds like a good name. Then we'll get into Brewer Talk. We'll talk about some decks we started playing with the new Strixhaven cards. And then we'll just kind of talk about how we're feeling about the meta and how the new set come out and how it's kind of shaking things up. So that should be fun. So, folks, starting with our game. Guess That Card. It's a visual element to this, so if you are actually listening to this as a podcast, you should look at the screen because it'll make your life easier for this. So basically, I'm just going to show JT here the Japanese version of a card, a mystical archive card, and he's just got to tell me what that card is. Easy. If he could read Japanese, this game would be very easy.
And you know I can't. But yeah, as soon as he told me this, I'm like, I haven't looked at the Japanese mystical archives, you son of a bitch.
Pretty much. Just take advantage. So here's how we'll score this. Similar to when we play Guess That Planeswalker or Who's That Planeswalker, you'll start at 5 points. Every guess you get wrong will go down how many points you get, and we'll see if you get to the end. And there's 3 cards. It's starting from easy to medium difficulty to hard. I don't think you'll get it, but we'll see what happens. So let's give this here a try. So card number 1, it'll be up on the screen for everyone, and I'm sending it to JT now. Hopefully there's not a big delay when I send that. All right, so this card on the screen here, what is that card?
I'm really annoyed because you were like, well, the first one's going to be really easy, and I'm looking and going, I don't have a hot feeling.
Okay. Well,
I'm feeling so stupid. It's 2 and a white.
Yep.
It's an instant or a sorcery.
I'll give you a clue. Like, the figure in there, who is that? Who do you think that is?
Oh, is that the Japanese version of Uncle Gid?
No.
Teferi?
Yes. I'm giving you a lot of clues here, but what
You are giving me a buck ton of clues.
Because this one's supposed to be the easiest one. I wanted this to be the giveaway, and you didn't cut it.
Oh my god. I'm feeling like such an idiot.
What's his iconic spell?
All this stuff is in blue. Oh, Teferi's Protection.
There you go. Okay, there you go. Without any help from me whatsoever, you got it. Good job.
I think I deserve -2 points for that. That was terrible.
Okay, we'll take away 1 point for that because of the amount of clues I gave you. So you're sitting at 4. All right, card number 2. Now this one you kind of got to look at for a bit, and I think you can get it by like trying to decipher what it is on the art. Here's card number 2.
All right, 1 and a black. Instant or sorcery. Is that Doomblade?
Yeah, you got. Okay, maybe that was the easy one. Maybe I should have started with that. I just thought, it looks like it's slashing through like Doomblade is, and it's cool. So, okay, cool. You got that one.
That artwork is awesome.
Great. It is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. All right, this last one is supposed to be the hard one. So this one's kind of a crapshoot. Good luck on this one. It should come up on your screen now.
Oh my.
What does this have to do with the card? I don't know. Good luck.
Is it Lightning Bolt?
No. So you're down to 3 points.
Oh, what? Okay. Mono red, 1 mana. What the F?
Okay, I'll take away our point and I'll give you a clue.
Sure.
Notice the mana cost in the card description, like the card text.
2 and a red. What has a 2 and a red activated cost? Oh, now I'm feeling really dense. The thing about the mystical archives is because they come from all over. I can't just narrow it down and go, oh, it's from this set.
From this set, yeah, okay. All right, I can take away, if you don't have a guess, I can take away another clue, and I'll take another point, and I'll give you another
Just give
clue.
me a second here.
All right.
What would cost 1 red mana and have a 2 red? So it could be an enchantment. If it's an enchantment. Nah, I got nothing.
Okay, here's a clue. It's one of my favorite cards.
Yeah, but it's not red and blue. Damn it.
It goes in red and blue decks. it made a deck. It basically made one of my favorite decks, but when it that's maybe too close.
Is it lightning axe?
No, it is Faithless Looting.
Oh, it's fluting. Oh,
yeah, the 2 in the red's the flashback cost.
I totally forgot about that being the flashback cost for Faithless Looting.
I was gonna give you another clue of like it probably made the deck until it got banned, until this card got banned, and I thought that was maybe too close of a clue.
I was gonna say, yeah, what this has to do with Faithless Looting, I have no idea. Yeah,
this has nothing to well, what does the other art have to do with Faithless Looting realistically either? What does any of the art for any of the Faithless Lootings, to be honest, barely does.
Yeah, Doomblade, I got. That was a big blade slash. Teferi's Protection, once you said that, I'm like, oh, that's Teferi. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is beautiful artwork, don't get me wrong. Gorgeous geisha artwork.
Just no idea what it has to do
No idea what it has to do with Faithless Looting. Wow.
Maybe,
all right.
It could be. Honestly, there's a potential where there's like something about Japanese culture that maybe we don't know, that it might actually be related in some way. That might be just a feeling on us. If you guys know that, let us know in the comments below if you actually think this actually has something to do with being faithless and looting a shrine or something. I don't know. I don't know enough about Japanese lore to know that answer, to be honest.
I show how little I know about Faithless Looting. I've only ever played against it, so I did not remember the flashback.
Yeah, people were just randomly casting it again. You were like, okay.
Well, no, I knew that. But that's what I'm saying is you get to know a card better when you play with it.
I agree.
And since I've never actually played with it, I know you're just busting my ass. But so when you said look at the 2 in a red or the mana cost, I didn't think flashback. I thought some kind of activated.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I'm like, oh, okay, now we're talking. This is an enchantment, and I should have. Yeah.
Oh well.
Should have known better.
It's all good. Well, that was a fun one. Let me know how many points you all survived with at home, if you did survive with any points.
A lot better than I did.
I thought that the fairy one was the easy one, but apparently it was the Doomblade one was the easy one. But oh well. Moving on, let's talk about some decks we're now playing since Strixhaven has come out. We'll start with you, JT, because I know you have 2 decks to talk about today. Let's get one of yours first.
All right, so let's do Strixhaven first. So the deck is not finished. I'm actually in the midst of working on it, but with all the fractal cards. Right. And the cards that put +1/+1 counters on fractals, because when they come in, they have to come with the counters. I thought, we could have fun with digging out one of my old favorite alternate win conditions, Simic Ascendancy.
Oh.
So if you're not familiar with Simic Ascendancy, it's an enchantment that whenever a counter is put on a creature, you put a counter on Simic Ascendancy. When Simic Ascendancy has 20 counters on it, on your next upkeep, you win the game.
Nice.
And so this whole thing with the fractals, when they come in, they get a counter, at least one counter on them automatically.
Right.
So I'm working on something. It would have Simic Ascendancy. It would have Branching Evolution, because it's in Historic. If one or more +1/+1 counters will be put on a creature you control, twice that many are put on instead.
I didn't realize this was Historic. Nice. Jumpstart.
Yeah.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah, it's from Jumpstart. And then so from the new set, I'm looking at stuff like Biomathematician. When there's a battlefield, create an 0/0 green-blue fractal creature token. Put a +1/+1 counter on each fractal you control. So that's really nice. Quandrix Command. That's the one.
Yep.
Choose 2. So one of them's put 2 +1/+1 counters on target creature. And then you can also bounce a creature or a planeswalker. You can counter an artifact or enchantment spell. Or you can put some cards into a library.
Value.
And, of course, Vorin Collects belongs in this deck.
Oh, yeah.
And then a one of, and this is a finisher, if we can get to 6 mana, Body of Research. 3 green, 3 blue.
Oh, God.
Sorcery. It's a mythic in the new set. Create a 0/0 green and blue fractal creature token. Put X +1/+1 counters on it, where X is the number of cards in your library.
Yeah, this card's cool. This card, people have talking a lot about it in Commander, of course, because you have a 100-card deck, or I guess 99. So you just play that, and it's going to be like a 90/90 or whatever when you play it.
Stupid. But yeah, with Simic Ascendancy, it would be like, oh, look, Simic Ascendancy now has 37 counters.
Yeah. Oh yeah, exactly. Help you get to where it's that win con. That's hilarious. That's awesome. You said it's incomplete, but have you been able to play with it at all?
I have not yet. We're in the process of building it. I will give an update to see how it goes. especially with the last week of the Jankyard League being historic. I'm tempted to play this, so we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. All right, we'll switch gears from one alternate win condition to another alternate win condition. Sort of.
Love it.
So we go over to my side of things, and I go, all right. So we're gonna start playing. Is it Phoenix? We will start playing that. But the first thing I noticed that I wanted to get into was playing some Bergie and Grinning Ignis infinite combo action. And this deck,
you're a horrible person.
I'm a degenerate, and honestly this deck is absurd because of how consistent it is, and it's so annoyingly consistent, to be honest. So basically how I've built the deck in typical Jonny fashion, it's actually an Arclight Phoenix deck. So of course you have Arclight Phoenix in there, and you have ways to get that in your graveyard now with Faithless Looting, but that of course with Thrill of Possibility. So those are your kind of ways to do that. So at the beginning of the game, you do that. And the reason this works out so well, instead of just like going all in on the combo deck, which I tried going all in on just doing the combo, is that they usually have removal. If your first creature you play is Runaway Steamkin, they just kill it. Or if your first creature you play is Bergie, they just kill it. So this way, you put some pressure on by putting on Arclight Phoenixes, and they're like, oh, I gotta deal with these Arclight Phoenixes. They use their removal, maybe they use their counter spells, whatever it is. They use stuff to get rid of the Arclight Phoenixes. And then you kind of save up in your hand Bergie and Grinning Ignis. So just in case you don't know how the combo works, essentially, because of the first part of Bergie here, whenever you cast a spell, you add red until end of turn. You don't lose this mana as steps and phases end. You could use that mana to return Grinning Ignis to your hand, which adds two colorless and 1 red, which you then use to just recast Grinning Ignis, and then you just replay Bergie, and you just do that a million times until eventually you play Grape Shot and you win the game. So that's
you're awful.
it's absolutely nutty. Runaway Steamkin I mentioned earlier, of course, is in this deck just to kind of help you get there faster. But of course, you have these just like 2-win conditions of like, hey, I'm coming in with Phoenixes. I'm doing that thing. Deal with my Phoenixes. Just kidding. I'm just gonna sit here and replay Grinning Ignis until I can one-shot you with a Grape Shot.
That's horrible.
It's terrible.
I love it. It's fun.
And honestly, I've done it so many times. It's so consistent that I'm worried about it. And a large part of it, again, is because Faithless Looting is an absurd card to exist. Like, it's so good and it's so broken. It helps you dig through the deck. Thrill of Possibility, of course, ends up helping you dig through the deck. You have Crash Throughs and Warlord's Furies in there too as well, as just because your cantrips. So you can go this route, or of course you can go the Is It route because you have new tools there. Brainstorm is legal for some reason. They decided to let people have Brainstorm, so that could obviously potentially make your deck even better if you decide to go Is It. But Mono Red version's pretty fun because Runaway Steamkin helps with Mono Red and just it does give you some low to the ground power too as well. So that's my deck for this week, and I've been loving it. It's so degenerate. The only thing that kind of sucks is that when I have the combo, you have to keep just clicking over and over again. You can't just be like, okay, I do it 1 million times and then Grape Shot you like you would in real life. You have to sit there and you can't even just like repeat it 3 times and then like say I do this now 20 times. I think that's how it works on Magic Online. Don't quote me on that. But that's not available in Arena, so people sit there and wait for you to finish a combo just in case that you don't actually have the finisher. One thing I will say as a PSA is actually have the finisher when you're doing the combo. Don't just try to make your opponent quit because they'll sit there and wait.
So how many times when you've been doing this shenanigan has your opponent hit you with either the sleep emoji or the angry emoji?
I actually have emotes turned off because they tilt me. So I don't, probably a bunch. They probably have a bunch, to be completely honest, but
I would, if it existed, I would totally have the middle finger emoji. So,
oh, it's,
come on, really?
Yeah, it's terrible. This is a degenerate thing that I don't know how they decided to put Grinning Ignis in the set and then decide to give you this easy finisher in Grape Shot. The other finisher, of course, is Aetherflux Reservoir. If you want to go that route, pick your poison. Really,
I was shocked to see Grape Shot in the set.
Yeah,
and there's nothing else that's really Storm related, so they had to be thinking, well, That Grinning Ignis, you might be able to do something there.
Yeah, we're gonna do something there, and yeah, Berkey's just the obvious home for it. So, that's been the shenanigans this week. Honestly, I'm probably I don't know. I'm probably like 60% win rate right now with it because obviously either it does its thing or I kill him with the Phoenixes, or it just like doesn't. Like if someone has heavy removal to get rid of Berkey or whatever, or their control deck, then it's tougher. But like you can get this out before most aggro decks kill you unless they just got like kind of a nut draw. So it's good times. Yikes indeed. All right, you have one more deck for us because you want to talk Gladiator, I think it was, right?
I do, and so this is not Strixhaven related because I made this deck before Strixhaven, so it was for the most recent week of the Jankyard League, which we did Gladiator. If you're not familiar with Gladiator, I think we've talked about before. Awesome format. I love it. It's 100 card singleton, no sideboard, no commander, no companion. And you can only use one of everything except basic lands unless your card says otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen the 7/7 dwarves. So this is a modification of a deck I made a few months ago. But essentially it's Rakdos Demon Control.
Okay.
And so black and red, and there's 31 instants and sorceries so that you can't have fun. And I know, like control sometimes when I'm playing against it tilts me, but I was playing against somebody the other night and they just play a creature and I'm just like, bam, play another creature, bam, another one, bam. So it's got everything: Grasp of Darkness, Heartless Act, Myers Grasp, Blood Cheaster, Fatal Push, you name it, and board wipes too. The whole thing I'm trying to get to is it plays 28 creatures and 25 of them are demons. So they're mostly big demons, and if I really want to have some fun, the alternate win condition, there is an alternate win condition here. It's Liliana's Contract.
Oh, yeah.
When she enters the battlefield, you draw 4 cards and lose 4 life, which is great. It helps refill your hand.
Yeah.
And then at the beginning of your upkeep, if you control 4 or more demons with different names, you win the game.
Yeah, because that's an enchantment that's on the field, folks. It's not even like you have to like play that and whatever on the stuff. You just play that, and then maybe eventually you have the demons to win the game.
And playing 25 demons, and some of them are big, some of them are small. I mean, there's not many small demons, but there's Varagoth from the new set, Embodiment of Agony's Baleful Ammit, but most are big demons. So nice. That's why I'm just trying to control. I've only played a little bit. It's I actually felt really bad because my opponent could not get anything going because I'm just like bam, 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 bam. It's like, I'm sorry, dude. And then suddenly I'm dropping, here's a 6/6 flyer and a 5/5, and here's Lord Belzenlock. A Demon Lord Belzenlock went ridiculous. I think gave me like 5 cards. Like, oh, this is bad.
For sure. That's wild. Yeah. Gladiator's a fun format. I enjoy it more than I thought I would. Because you're like, it's this weird commanderless commander thing, but it's actually just like, you just gotta play a cool pile of cards, and then actually like its opposition to Brawl is that like Brawl is really consistent actually with the way people build their decks and the way like there's just like enough of the card pool now, like historic Brawl, there's enough in the card pool now where their decks are just really consistent and then end up being kind of samey, which is 60 cards. You have less cards than like you do in Commander, but just playing a 100-card singleton actually it adds a lot of variety. And again, you can do things like just play your favorite cards in a color and then you kind of go there, or you have this cool demon theme like we have over here on this deck, and that's fun. So it lets you kind of play that kind of stuff, and it's entertaining to say the least. All right, so let's get into our last topic then of the day, and that, of course, would be just playing games with the new Strixhaven cards and how it's been. So I was talking to you before the show started, and basically neither of us have touched Standard at all yet. We were kind of just messing around in Historic. Of course, I already mentioned me playing the Berkey combo deck. Also been playing some Is It Phoenixes. I haven't completed it yet, the new additions to the deck for Is It Phoenix, because all these cards are rares, and there's so many wild cards that I need for everything. I don't have the Brainstorms yet or the new counter spell in it too in Memory Lapse, which, by the way, if you don't know what Memory Lapse does, it is a counter spell for 1 and a blue instant counter target spell. If that spell is countered this way, put it on top of the owner's library instead of into that player's graveyard, which is just like a paddling. If you've ever been countered and had something go back on top of your library, you have to redraw that card. Yeah, it's you didn't completely deal with it, but against Izzet, you just want that tempo where you get ahead on them on turns, and though it's almost like you discarded a card because you're kind of down a card because you're just having to redraw a card you already did draw. So it's like it's awful. So like waiting to get some of those put into Izzet Phoenix too as well. And that should be pretty fun for the meta. I've seen a lot of decks making it to the top of the list because of Faithless Looting and the cards I mentioned in Brainstorm and Memory Lapse. So there's a huge impact for that deck, and it's been pretty fun playing, even just playing with Faithless Looting, even though I don't have the Brainstorm Memory Lapse yet. Just playing with Faithless Looting, it's like, oh yeah, this is what Arclight Phoenix feels like. Like I've never played some Modern. This is what this feels like. Oh yeah, this is great. So it's been pretty fun. How have you been enjoying cards in Strixhaven?
So far, mainly in Limited. I did Sealed, and I'm actually looking forward to picking up my physical pre-release kits.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I've noticed a couple things. So one, my pre-release and I did the Seal, not pre-release, the Sealed I did on stream.
Mm-hmm.
I was able to build a very clean Prismari deck.
Nice.
Red blue. Didn't have to go. Everybody else I played was playing 3 colors because Sealed, it's tougher. You sometimes need to go 3 colors, but it was pretty clean, and that was a fun deck. The getting the lessons was very easy.
Oh yeah,
and I was able to keep some powerful stuff in my sideboard, and just triggering. There was a bunch of cards that were instants and sorceries matter, and that was easy to do. I think I was running 8 or 9 creatures, but then I had 2 of those Serpentine Curve spells.
All right.
That give you a fractal with counters equal to the number of instants and sorceries you have on the battlefield. And so one time I dropped a 9, and then a 10.
Nice.
It was sick.
That's awesome.
So yeah, that's the fun I've had so far. The other thing I've noticed now, I've familiarized myself more with the cards and the colleges. And I'm really disappointed in Boros.
Oh yeah, that's what everyone's excited about. I don't know about Limited specifically, but that's what everyone's excited about.
I guess the reason, and maybe I haven't delved deep into it enough, and if I haven't, let me know and chastise me for it. That's fine, in the comments. But I have an affinity for Boros, but Boros is beatdown, and I don't feel like this Boros is beatdown.
No, it's graveyard
it's all about
synergy.
Yeah, and I don't want graveyard synergy if I'm playing red and white. If I want graveyard synergy, I'll play Golgari. Yeah. So yeah, I was kind of disappointed in that. The one I seem to be most attracted to so far, don't get me wrong, Prismari was awesome.
Of course it was.
From looking at the card, but looking at the cards, Silverquill, the Orzhov one.
Yeah.
Black white, I like it. So I'm gonna be the booster or the pre-release kits I ordered were Silverquill and Quandrix. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I actually haven't played any Limited yet because I rushed to get my Burgie deck in order, so I needed to grab a bunch of wild cards, so I just spent it all in packs. And I just didn't have leftover money to throw into Limited 2 Arena, so hopefully get around to that. Maybe even get to some video pre-release with some friends. That might be kind of fun. But yeah, so far I haven't been able to get into Limited, so that surprises me a little bit there that Lorehold doesn't seem as strong in Limited. But the other thing too that
that's not saying it's not strong.
Okay.
It's just saying it's doing things I don't want it to do.
Oh, okay, that's fair. Because okay, that's fair. The other thing that I thought was interesting is that you mentioning the learn spells working out so good. That was the one thing that I was like very, very medium on in this set. Like they all seem super underpowered, but it was like, okay, maybe their places in Limited because you have time to like spend more mana on some of those cards sometimes to get the silver bullet you maybe need for the matchup. But yeah, they're like, I don't think they wanted them to make an impact in Constructed, but to see that they at least have a home in Limited, that they seem to work really well there, that's good to me in my head.
Yeah, and it's funny because when I streamed the other night, I streamed my sealed pool, And we were seeing, okay, the lessons are working out fine, just fine. But okay, I have this removal, I'll go get it.
Mhm.
And one person commented, "This looks like Wizards got companion right,"
Yeah.
and that's kind of what it is. I mean, this requires an effort, and
Mhm.
you're also getting a situational card or a decent card or an okay card. You're not getting an absolute bomb for free.
Yeah. For like
So yeah, it's like
even the way it currently works, where it's like pay 3 to go get it now, as opposed to when they originally had it, where it was literally free. It's still just like, yeah, you just do that anytime
yeah,
at sorcery speed, but like at any time. So it did make that. I like that thought, that idea where it's like, if they made companions like play this card that said call companion or something, then you could bring the card from your thing or
yeah.
whatever. Then at least it's like, it's not a free card you put on that there. You actually have to use a card to get the card, so therefore it's not just this free extra card. I like it, and that's a cool
I
take.
do too. Yeah, I do too.
Anything else to touch on
No,
for the
I
Wizards
think
meta? Yeah.
yeah, I think I'm pretty good on this front. We'll see in future weeks as I dig deeper into Strixhaven. We'll definitely have more.
Mhm.
It's definitely, there's some interesting cards, and me, I like janky mythics and rares, so I'm gonna go digging through them. There's definitely a few. We mentioned Body of Research. I'm excited to make that work once.
Yeah.
So we'll see how things go as we dig deeper into Strixhaven.
Yeah, there's definitely some more stuff. There's also that one deck that's playing all one ofs, so you could play Lutri for one as your companion, but also Tainted Pact, which that card is a one generic and one black for an instant. You remove the top card of your library from the game. You may put that card into your hand unless it has the same name as another card. Remove this way. Repeat this process until you put a card into your hand, or you remove 2 cards with the same name, whichever comes first. But of course,
Ha!
if you don't have 2 cards with the same name, you just keep going till you get your like Thassa's Oracle win condition, or Golos your way to
Oh,
that win condition. And that's how that deck plays.
that's ridiculous. I love it.
Yeah, degenerate stuff. Historic is just a degenerate format now, where you just play crap like this.
No.
Which is almost, it's like awful, but kind of cool at the same time. There's this part of my brain that's like, this is like a fun little playground until I get sick of it. You know what I mean? Until all decks are like this, and then I'm like, I don't want to play Historic anymore. And then they're gonna need to ban stuff. For now, though, I'm having fun. Obviously, I'm part of the problem. I'm playing Bergie, but if this literally becomes the thing where everyone's just playing, because alternative win conditions are supposed to be that casual fun thing, right?
Yeah.
But when it becomes like the main thing, they always suck. I don't like it when I didn't actually like it when Rogues was on top of the meta, because I didn't like Mill being an actual meta strategy. I'd rather it be a janky thing. I didn't like Nexus of Fate because I don't like extra turns being a real strategy.
Well, also
It's
Nexus of Fate was a great way to bore people to death.
Oh yeah, exactly. So like I don't like it when those things are actually meta. I wish they were just janky things that people tried sometimes and it was like, ah, you pulled it off, congratulations. Not when you can literally do this thing every game and it's just awful. So hopefully eventually things kind of settle down when it comes to all that. But we'll have to wait and see if things kind of shake out, or if Brawl decks with Grape Shot are gonna take over the format, or what. Like, we'll
Yeah, it'd be
see.
interesting to see. Although, I mean, I think Historic has found a way to straighten itself out, and I was really worried about Tybalt's trickery for a while there, and now it's it's rare now.
Mhm.
So, I mean, yeah, they changed things to help it, but also, yeah, I think Historic is still adjusting. But if it gets to the point where there's like 3 good Historic decks, that's going to be really disappointing.
Yeah, it will, because I like it's the non-rotating format that I prefer playing in, but they keep doing stuff like in Modern where they reach Modern Horizons and then it messes up that format. Or so if they do stuff like this where Mystical Archives come and messes up the format, it might be a little unfun in the long run. But we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, for sure. We'll have to see how it goes.
Exactly. Well, that will end the podcast for the day, folks. JT, would you like to plug your stuff?
Absolutely. Check us out at Jankyard MTG, or sorry, twitch.tv/Jankyard MTG. And we stream a couple times a week. Also check out mtgmelee.com and search for Jankyard, and we've got usually 1 or 2 tournaments a week, and we might have other upcoming events. So yeah, check us out.
All right, and the one thing I want to shout out this week is we have a friend of the show and friend of Jankyard's tournaments here. Our one of our friends and players, turn 3 Karn, needs non-cosmetic surgery for her eyes. The surgery is not covered by our provincial health coverage here in Manitoba, which is what it is. But if you want to help out and help her to continue to play Magic, she's one of the Magic players that is really, really keen on our local community and the community here for the Untap Podcast, as well as the Jankyard. So if you want to help that out, there is a link in the description below. Please support that if you can. If you have some extra cash right now, it can definitely help, because she's a great person and a great Magic player that needs her eyes. So to
continue her eyes for Magic.
Yeah, exactly. And I want her to keep playing Magic because she's a really good community member. Check out her. I'll also link her TikTok. She does really cool pack openings and stuff. She makes really cool MTG content on there. But of course, she will need help getting this kind of surgery to continue doing that kind of stuff. And if you can spare anything, that would be great if you want to check that out, folks.
Yeah, I was actually going to mention her TikTok, and there is a video on there to the song "I Like Big Butts," and it's all big butt cards. So I appreciate the heck out of that TikTok.
For sure. All right, folks, that will end the podcast for this week. If you liked any part of it, let us know in the comments below. If you like our decks, of course, our decks will be linked in the description as well. So go ahead and check that out. But that's it from us this week. We will see you all next time.